Hi, and welcome to the latest Pop Bucket podcast. With me today is James and Michael.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys keeping well?
Yeah, it's good to be podcasting again. It's been hard, hasn't it?
Life's puts its challenges in the way to get us all together in time.
Indeed.
Yeah. So,
but life also finds a way.
It does at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Colorado River channeling its way through the Grand Canyon. No matter what, things will find a way to the end. And
That's beautiful.
I know, romantic.
It's a metaphor for life.
You can see why I got a C at English language and B at literature. It's
but who's bragging?
Who's bragging, exactly.
Show off.
Talking of show-offs, has anyone done anything exciting they want to shout about?
Well, I have been playing a game that I got off Steam. I got onto Steam recently because I'm from the 19th century and I don't know about what the kids are doing these days. So I got onto Steam because everyone's saying get onto Steam. And I got a game called Starbound. And it's basically a bit like Minecraft in space, but 2D. But that's a vast oversimplification. And it really is. You create your little dude, your little character. And I called mine Arthur. And you get really quite attached to him. And he's like, you see him going around and you have this universal matter transfer device and you use that to kind of move blocks around and stuff. It's very good. It gets around the problems of, crafting and stuff in 2D. And it actually works really well. The only problem is my PC is so shockingly awful. I still get lag even for like a 2D pixelated game. But I'm really enjoying it. It's like every time you discover how to do something new in the game, it's like a little victory. And it's like, oh, wow. And that's how I make doors this is where you get dye from and stuff. And so, yeah, it's a joy, basically.
I checked out the website a few weeks ago because you put a link up, I think, maybe when you started. Were you doing a beta of it or something?
I got the beta version, which they're working on at the moment, and you get like I think you get a soundtrack pack as well.
That's right. Yeah, I read through all that. It sounded amazing, actually. But
it is. Yeah.
Is it sort of an MMO kind of function as well?
It does actually. I haven't actually tried that out myself because I'm still getting used to the way the game world works. But you can actually. There are servers for it as well, and you can sort of play along with other people and create your own places.
Yeah, and also, it looked quite charming. Quite charming. It reminded me of Terraria, which is being compared to Minecraft as well. Actually, kind of a 2D type version, but it looked really nice and a cool soundtrack.
Yeah, cracking soundtrack as well. Yeah.
Mike, did he say you called your character Arthur?
I did, yes.
Because James, I don't know about you as well, but do you either, when you get a chance to name characters, do you either sort of put your own name in, like so characters go, "Oh, hi James," or do you be stupid, like ridiculous names? Because when I replayed Ocarina of Time, I named Epona Scooby Doo. And things like that. I kept myself as Martin, but
I tend to call myself James, but I know, similar to you, when we Freya and I had like a Harvest Moon game like a few years back, and we called all our animals like Star Wars things. So we had like Chewbacca the cow and Yoda the pig. Yeah, but main character I'd usually go for James, just because it makes me giggle sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when James, you are now the Grand Wizard. Of some magical land.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I'm great. I'm the amazing James.
My friend tends to do the silly though, so he'll have like Knob Jockey or something like that. It was like, "Hello, Knob Jockey. Welcome to our kingdom." Which is kind of, it's got its appeal, but I think it's a limited appeal.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Minecraft, though. I've had a moment's thought. I was reading a bit more about Minecraft, and it was in the PS4 magazine. I was thinking, I didn't like it first time round, but I might give it another go. Now it'll be on next-gen console shortly, and it's got a whole generation to develop. I think I might give it another go.
And you've got all the mods from the PC are going to be included as well. So don't forget,
Exactly.
PC players get so much more than just Minecraft on the 360 or what have you.
Yeah.
So
They've done so much with the 360 one because I downloaded it on day one when they first released it for the 360. But the patches and the updates that they've implemented since, it's kind of unrecognisable really. Some of the stuff you can do, the new materials they've introduced, different worlds. So you've got like the Nether realm or something.
Something like that.
It's like a dark kind of alternate universe. But I liked it. I got on quite well with Minecraft when I first started playing it, but I never got into kind of playing with other people. So I talked to Zora about sort of setting up a server once. We never got around to it, but I always found it a little bit lonely playing on my own, especially when nighttime comes. You feel really vulnerable sometimes. Which is part of the appeal.
Yeah.
You build yourself a good stronghold and you're fine. But certainly when
Early
you start out,
days.
you've got like a mud hut or something.
yeah,
And
you can hear all these noises.
It turns to night and you think, oh God, what's that? At one point I ended up burying myself underground just because I was in the middle of nowhere, had nowhere to hide, and was like, crap, the sun's gone down, I'm going to get killed. I'll just dig a little hole and then like fill in the roof with
The top block.
some mud. Yeah. And all I could hear was like scratching around outside. And
Well-
I have no idea if the sun's up yet or if I can leave this hole. But yeah, it's good.
Well, I don't know if it's because it was at a time when that sort of story or sort of survival aspect to it came to the game, but all I remember was just walking around. I didn't know there was all this other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I was just lumped in there and I was thinking, right, what do I do?
I think you get
It's
like
like-
a tutorial, and I think it's like infinite daylight or something in the tutorial, so it doesn't. You're not under threat, I don't think, until you finish doing like chop down a tree, build a wall.
I had none of that in the version I played.
Oh right,
Yeah.
was that on the
So-
PS3?
Was it on the PS? Yeah. I was gonna ask.
No, it was the mobile version.
Oh,
I just thought,
that explains that.
Yeah, they're not good. Not
I
really
just thought,
good.
Well,
I
I'm
think
standing here.
The mobile version, I think, expects that you've played it before and you've already got something set up, so you can, I think you can load your server from the PC or something and start sort of tampering with something you've already created. But I played the iPad version, and it was it's kind of like quite a scaled down version.
But up until last week, I did not know any of this existed about having to hide at night because there's things around.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Really?
Oh, you can
No.
go, you got to go hunter gathering, kill some pigs,
'cause
cook up the
everything-
meat, get some bacon.
Everything I
Need
see
to
about
freeze.
it is that it's a wonderful building simulator. People built King's Landing and all these other Gotham City or
Yeah,
whatever.
you can. You've got mode. You
But
have got the mode.
That's all I've ever heard about the game.
You have got a mode
Oh.
which is just creative. So you don't have to worry about and you've got infinite building blocks and stuff. But then you've also got the survival aspect of the game as well, which if you want to play the game as it's
Proper.
not intended to be played, but as an option, it's definitely a more immersive experience. Really, if you've got a group of people, I tend to find the creative one works better because then you can all work towards building something.
Yeah, I don't have time to do something like that, and it'd be terrible as well. if it were Little Big Planet levels, it'd just be like the stupidest thing designed ever.
I remember I was playing with a group of people and we built a lava toilet above someone's house. So they built a house and we just built a massive sort of toilet with a lava stream flowing. Hey, look what we've done, mate. And then we pulled one of the blocks out and the lava stream just flowed down right into his house.
Oh, that's me.
But I think so. When it's on the next gen consoles soon enough, I think I'll pick it up.
I'm kind of debating whether to re-download it because I think you'll probably have to pay for it again. And it was like, I think it was like £10 or something, which is fine for the 360 version. But I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to download it again. I guess we could have a server. We could all build the Death Star or something. That would be good.
Turbo.
Yeah.
So
We'll build
I'll
bucket
have to
towers.
think about that. So I'll think about that. But I have noticed they're going to do a Minecraft movie following the success of a Lego movie.
Well,
Really?
that's predictable. Mind you, the Lego movie was awesome. Or I should say amazing.
Everything is awesome.
Yes.
about the Lego movie.
I haven't
I
seen
know.
it yet, but I can. It makes sense to have a Lego movie because they've had Lego games, and there's a certain personality, a kind of a certain style that goes with that. With Minecraft, I can't imagine it really.
I think you'll be surprised what they did with the Lego's movie's plot.
Yeah.
It's sort of at the end, it sort of goes a bit.
Meta.
Yeah. So yeah, I won't spoil it.
There's a
or anything like
crossover
that.
between the real world and the Lego world. That's as much as I'm going to say. But it is actually
It's
quite.
very, very good.
It is, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It surprised me actually the reviews that have come out about it.
Yeah, 4 stars in the Times as well. That's the first one I saw. I
High
just
praise.
happened to. I was sitting there in the cafe. I was like, oh, is there a paper available? Oh yeah, okay, all right. Oh, Lego movie. I bet that's got trashed. Oh, 4 stars.
Yeah.
You know, and a really in-depth review saying, yeah, go see this. So,
It's brilliant. And they're doing a sequel, but there's so many funny jokes, especially Batman and
Batman. I think it's
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett as Batman.
Yeah.
Is great. The guy who plays Job in Arrested Development as Batman is amazing. I won't spoil it for you, but he's like the best thing in it.
That could be
definitely.
good. I can imagine that.
There's so many jokes about his sort of. They do loads of jokes on all the different franchises. Like there's Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Who has a very, very
Gandalf.
effeminate voice.
Yeah. There's Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. There's Batman. There's just pretty much every sort of Lego creation. Just pops up in one way or another.
Is Tom Bombadil in it?
No,
Don't think so.
well,
no.
there's so many.
Oh,
There's lots of characters that pop up and have a line or two.
oh right.
So
Little
many
cameo.
background references.
Yeah.
Because like there's one time at an auditorium where there's, I don't know, about say 6 or 7 speak, but there's just loads of characters sort of they're just sort of standing there, sort of.
And it's like
looking
spot the
around.
reference kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So I implore you to go see that, James. It's
It's on
You will
it's
enjoy
on
it.
the list. It is on the big
It's
list.
on the list.
I went to the cinema last week to see Gravity.
Ooh.
It was like a last chance 3D showing because it's been out since for God knows how long. But yeah, I was a little behind schedule. But yeah, bloody good film actually.
Yeah.
Really, really surprised me. Not the kind of film I normally go in for. Sort of disaster movie in space.
Yeah.
But very, very good. Very well done. Really actually quite believable as well. I mean, I don't know a lot about space, but nothing I saw seemed like it couldn't actually happen.
I've been reading in my new favourite magazine. They reference what happens in Gravity.
Yeah.
Because this article is all about space junk
Yeah.
and clearing it all up. And said the events are exaggerated, which is understandable, but that is essentially what happens and the risks and will happen in the future unless something's sorted out.
Gosh.
So yeah. So I've read also Sandra Bullock was getting like 20% of the money made at cinema of the gross profit,
Jesus.
as she's going to make about 70 million or something off the film.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's yeah. I understand it was like really hard to make though. Like they were in really crap conditions.
I imagine.
So I think they were doing like 12-hour days or something, but they weren't able to take breaks because they were in some kind of weird, not zero gravity, but some kind of weird setup where they were filming quite a lot of it inside a cube. I don't know. But it sounded like hellish.
But the end product, though, James, you really enjoyed.
Really, really good. Yeah. Special effects were phenomenal. Saw it in 3D. Sometimes with 3D films, you can find it's a little bit overdone, a little bit
jarring.
a bit too in your face,
Yeah.
for want of a better term. But I thought the balance here was perfect. Actually, you had bits where it was quite clear that they'd kind of done things specifically for 3D. So you see a little tear sort of running down her face, and then suddenly it floats off across the screen, and you're like, oh, she's crying. It's little tears coming towards you, so that was quite nice. But it wasn't overdone. Yeah, and George Clooney was really good. That was the kind of main concern, I think, was the casting. I don't really.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for George Clooney. and I didn't think Gravity was going to be it, but actually he was really good. Good to bring a bit of lightheartedness to the proceedings. Yeah, yeah. So
Good
go and
old
watch it.
Gorgeous
I don't know.
George.
You might have some limited opportunity to see it in 3D now, but I think it would work on a Blu-ray. Just maybe not as impactful.
Yeah, I'll catch it. Probably on Sky when that comes out.
Mm.
Talking of what I watched recently, I saw Fast and Furious 6
Yeah.
last
Ooh.
week. That popped up on TV.
Get you.
And the end, have any of you seen that?
No.
No. But
No.
you're about to talk about the runway, aren't you?
The runaway sequence.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not the only person to think it. But it goes on for ages, for about 15 minutes. And they just never ever take off. The plane's like captain says, "Oh, I've got to take off," and he pulls back on the flight stick, whatever it's called, and then another 5 minutes later, they're about 10 foot off the ground. It's safe enough for you to jump off a plane and sort of land on the car. Although I don't know why you jump off a plane and land into a small moving car when you just jump onto the floor where you can't possibly get run over.
I don't think you should look at the Fast and Furious as your basis for science and logic.
But
It sounds to me like an unnecessary risk. So I think,
yeah, it is
just
an unnecessary
look for
risk.
a grassy knoll or something.
But this runway, they calculated it probably goes on for about a very minimum of about 6 miles.
It's not a circular sort of runway. Then they're not going around a loop. Just a straight run.
Just a straight run. But if it was done and all in real time, they said the runway would have been about 26 miles long. But they take into account, right, some events are happening at the same time, so it's a shot inside and it cuts to outside, and some of that perhaps taken place at the same time, so they took it into account. But still, it's a ridiculously long scene, and
You have to wonder about the director's idea of continuity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Or
if we're questioning
believability.
it, yeah, and just you're making a product. You think, I want this to be as good as it can be. I want this to be believable. I want people to be engaged.
I don't think everyone's as honest and hardworking as you, James. I think there are people out there who are slightly cynical who think, let's just slap any old shite together and release it.
Yeah, stick a plane on the Nuremberg ring and let them go all day. Yeah,
I'd like to see that bugger take off,
that'd be awesome.
yeah.
especially around the banking curve corner.
See, that would be drama. True drama.
You see, I'd watch your film, James, because I know that would be interesting. Oh.
Yeah. It ended in
So,
tears.
has anyone got any games they'd like to give a shout out? That have been
Shout
trying
out.
out, other than
I've been playing. In fact, I reviewed it. See, this is how long it's been since we've done a podcast. This should be kind of recent news, but it was actually about a month ago. The Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on the Xbox One. I never played the first version on the 360 or the PS3, so I've been completely blown away with this game. And I think I'm a little bit behind the times, because everyone I've spoken to, I'm like, Tomb Raider's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's always been amazing. Like, where have you been, dude? And it's like, yeah, so I've been really kind of banging the drum for Tomb Raider. I'm almost at the end of it, but I've got so many other games in the pile at the moment. It's just been kind of quite competitive in our household. Yeah, but yeah, Tomb Raider looks amazing, plays amazing, story amazing. Tomb Raider. Have you played it?
Pick it up on the cheap, as the saying goes.
Yeah, because Martin did the original.
was it
review
9
for
out of 10 I gave it? I'm trying to look up now.
You were impressed by it. I remember that.
It.
Yeah,
And I think I emulated it with a 9. Well deserving of that, but
Tomb Raider. I gave it a 9.
yeah, well deserving.
I very much enjoyed it. Really brought it into the modern age.
Yeah, it's gritty. It's pretty raw, and it feels a lot more like an Uncharted in some.
Definitely.
But it's got that sort of an emotional kind of roller coaster going for it. Like right from the very start, you're kind of like, oh god, this is real. This is not like some invincible girl kind of climbing up a pyramid. This is like this is kind of real life. Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Some of the voice acting is a bit sketchy at the beginning, but I'll let that. Yeah.
I've been playing a few games actually. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. That's been the biggest surprise of the year so far to me.
What, in terms of how enjoyable it's been?
In terms of how enjoyable and how good it is. Obviously, it was a tower defense game, which I really enjoy. But turning that into a third-person shooter isn't the most logical next step for the game. It's almost like Syndicate being real-time strategy and turning that into an FPS.
Yeah.
But it was very good. Plants vs Zombies, Garden Warfare.
It was a glowing review actually. Really.
I did struggle with the score because I gave it 7. Because it's essentially a family-friendly version of Battlefield.
Yeah.
And Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. It's one of the modes is exactly the same as Mass Effect 3, and another is the
Rush
mode of Battlefield. Both very good sessions. We've enjoyed some time on the Mass Effect 3. And you've got all the staples, you've got all your different power-ups. So for the scientist zombie, you've got like a little healing power station, you've got all your different guns, you've got all your different tools and power-ups. As plants, one of them you can burrow under the ground and they come up and chomp enemies whole. You've got long sprawling maps for rush mode. It looks wonderful in the cartoon style of the series, but in nice crisp HD. It's just a lovely game. I was thinking of giving it an 8, but because there's only really 2 modes, no, there's 3 modes. There's also Team Deathmatch.
Yeah.
I thought 3 modes. That's not exactly much, and there's not that many maps either.
How much are they charging for it? Is it budget price or is it full price?
I think it's full price. It's full price.
Oh, it's full price. Then I think that's probably justified criticism. Yeah.
The only thing that worried me about it is kind of like the sustainability model. So obviously it's a great game, it's a lot of fun, but there's no single player. So you'd kind of envision in 6 months' time, probably less than that, you're going to have trouble finding a game. The server's still going to be kind of packed full of eager opponents. Probably that could be a bit of an issue.
That will be the problem. So I've just looked on online. It's going about £30 the Xbox One version,
right?
Which is cheaper than the standard one. But
still a significant investment.
It's still an investment that a lot of games are currently vying for your money. Really good game though. And if you've got little uns, but you want to play something that's well put together and quite solid and with adult game mechanics, go for this, because you can't go around playing Battlefield with a 5-year-old.
Oh, why not?
Well, technically not, but
all that Mass Effect.
Or Mass Effect.
All those, it looks good. It reminded me a bit of Team Fortress, the sort of kind of style of it.
Yes, I don't mention too much of it, but you can dress up your characters in lots of different wacky clothes with hats, funny glasses. So you can give your zombie like a porn star tash with disco glasses. Put on funky hair and stuff like that. It's really good actually. Yeah, it's a very good game.
Yeah, it looked promising actually. I'd quite like to give it a little go sometime.
Yeah, it's definitely worth people's time. It's, despite the look of it, it is games that hardcore gamers could get a lot out of.
Yeah,
there is depth to it. It's not a shallow game by any means.
That's good to know.
It's just got a little sunflower giving death rays instead of some Russian soldier with an AK shooting down at you.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic difference. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Makes me want to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer again. Actually, it's been too long since we three
should do that.
Hit that.
We should definitely do that sometime soon.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, yeah, that was good.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love it's fucking awesome. I went American. It's fucking awesome, dude.
It's freaking amazing.
It is. Yeah. It'll rock your world. It's just for what it is. I was really skeptical about there being a multiplayer.
Yeah, I was too. I was really late adopter as well.
Yeah, because I thought, oh god, multiplayer is going to suck because this game is all about versus, tactics. How are you going to slow the game down? It would be awful. And then when I found out it was cooperative, P versus E, I thought, oh, well, hang on, it could work. And then I was like, actually, yay, this is really good. And the fact that they weren't charging us for it and all the relative upgrade, what do you call them, DLC,
microtransactions.
Yeah, because they were doing that for the single player, but not for the multiplayer. Which I thought, oh, right on. At least there's something we're not getting screwed over on, and the thing that you're providing is really good. So, I tell you what,
you got me right into it actually, because it's better with friends.
It is, yeah. Because I don't want to offend the entire online community with a statement, but you're all dicks. Because because whenever you do play with a random group of people, there's a chance that they won't res you when you're down. There's a chance that one of them will play as a Krogan and then just run straight into a load of enemies on platinum and get his ass kicked, and then you have to play with 3 people instead of 4 because he's constantly dying. Or there's someone who thinks it's a good idea to use a sniper rifle on a close quarters level. Or there's I could go on, but yeah, it is better with friends definitely because then you have the confidence to shout at people.
also, you've got your little classes, haven't you? So you can be a bit more strategic and say, "I'm going to get close quarters combat guy. You be the long range. We'll sort it out. You be a bit of a healer." Yeah, good. That's what it's all about.
It is, yeah. It's great when it all comes to. I tell you what, I've been playing to go on a complete different tangent. Street Fighter Alpha 2. I got it on the PSN download, and I haven't played it that much. But my God, it seems slow compared to what I remember, because I had it on the PS2 when it came out, and it feels fucking almost as if the characters are moving through water. It feels really like
that's a symptom of maybe.
Sorry.
I think we've lost James there. Lost him mid-flow.
Mid-flow, yeah.
Hang on, we're seasoned professionals here. I can fix the situation.
Right, while you fix it, I'll fail. I'm going to say what I think James is going to... This is what I think James would have said. I think it's a symptom of the fact that fighting games have gotten quicker these days.
Yeah, that's pretty much the long and the short of it.
Beautifully filled.
Yeah, what that man said.
Yeah, because I remember I had Capcom versus SNK, which had a whole roster of characters and was really quick on the PS2. But before that, I had Street Fighter Alpha, and now going back to it feels really slow. Still good, still the solid play mechanics in place, jump or projectile attack, or uppercut, basically. Those 3 choices, spin the roulette. But slightly disappointed, really. I don't know.
It's a shame, isn't it, when the kind of rosy glasses of nostalgia sort of smashed brutally when you go back to the old.
Indeed.
Yeah, it is upsetting.
That's another our second good metaphor of the podcast. After Martin's metaphor of the river of life, canyon of life, and your metaphor for nostalgia. So it's good. It's a very literary podcast this week.
It is. We're getting deep.
We are, man. This is deep stuff. So that's games. What about movies? We talked about Gravity. I want to talk about a movie that is in no way related to anything that's out or released currently, but is very dear to my heart, which is a Wes Anderson film called Rushmore. And I don't know if you've seen Rushmore, but
Haven't, no.
basically, I think it's the second film after Bottle Rocket, and it's about a really precocious kid called Max Fisher, it was Jason Schwartzman's first screen role, and he's like a precocious kid who's a really talented writer, but he's behind in all his classes because of his extracurricular activities, and he falls in love with his teacher, and it's about him competing with Bill Murray's businessman for her affections, and it is the sweetest, funniest, nicest film I've seen in years. So go and see it. And it has a great soundtrack as well. Cracking soundtrack.
Where is it? Is it an old film?
It's 1998, I believe. So, I mean, I'm feeling old now, but yes, it is an old film.
Yeah.
By current standards, you could classify it as old. But fish it out on DVD. Try and find it on demand if it's on Netflix or Love Film, and give it a bash, because it really is brilliant, and it features the best use of a song by The Who in a film I think I've ever seen. So you should definitely watch that movie. Anyway, other recommendations, chaps.
Even better than Quadrophenia.
Even better than Quadrophenia. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and I say yes. It's even better. It's an even better use of The Who than The Who's own movie.
That is tall talk indeed. I'll check it on the list actually, because Freya likes Wes Anderson films. I do as well actually. But,
well, there are some Wes Anderson films that turn me off a bit. Like I really loved. I'm trying to remember the other one that I really loved as well. Quick, throw me some Wes Anderson films.
Moonrise Kingdom.
I haven't seen that. I really want to though. The Life Aquatic.
Oh.
I thought The Life Aquatic was quite good, especially the bit at the press conference when Bill Murray's talking about, I'm going to blow it, about the shark he's going after. Are you going to kill it? I'm going to blow it up. Possibly dynamite. Just so deadpan, and that's how he gets his life. But Royal Tenenbaums was up and down for me. I don't know. It just felt a bit clever. I'm not sure. But it did have some really funny, like I loved the visual gag of the kids in the same, running tops and stuff. And their granddad teaching them how to get a free ride on a garbage truck, all hanging off the side of the garbage truck with big beaming smiles.
That was brilliant. Yeah, you just reminded me actually about some of my favourite bits. But it's kind of, I think maybe for me it was like they kind of tried to cram in too many characters, or too many quite distinctive characters, and like maybe it would have been better for me personally if the focus was kind of smaller
on maybe 3 or 4 of them.
4 people. Yeah. But. Yeah, that is all good. It's all good.
It's all gravy, baby.
Rushmore, I'll add that to my
You should definitely see that.
film list. Yeah.
Now, who hasn't recommended a film yet? I know, Marty. Fast and Furious 6 doesn't count. Just
Lego Movie. I've already mentioned that. I'm gonna say Jonathan Quick's back on TV now.
I missed it last night or the night before. Any good?
On Friday night. I haven't seen it. I will see it. I haven't managed yet. It's recorded.
I'm sure it's good.
I'm going to like it.
I avoided the Twitter like the plague because I was like, I don't want any spoilers. But then I saw a few people just like, oh, it's good to have him back. Jonathan Creek.
Good old Alan Davies.
I'm taking that as a good sign. But gotta love that Creek. I've been watching The Walking Dead actually. At long last, I've been dragged kicking and screaming into the times that are. But yeah, it's taken a long time to start watching it. I was a little bit skeptical, thinking I like zombie stuff, but a zombie series, is it going to be? I don't know. But it's really good, really well done, and a few kind of quite redeemable characters. It's nice to kind of see characters being built up a bit, because usually in zombie films, like the Romero ones and stuff, you might get to like a character, but sooner or later they get their neck bitten off or something like that. But yeah, with this, it's good. We watched the first series in like the space of a week, which is quite telling, I think. But special effects are good. Seems quite high budget. I don't know if that's.
I think it is for a TV show. It does. I think I've read somewhere it does have one of the higher sort of budgets. Like I think 24 is one of the highest budget TV shows, but I think Walking Dead probably does ride it close. I'm not sure. But yeah, have you seen the first season then?
Yeah, we got to the end of the first season, and we've got the second one sort of queued up to watch.
I've sort of just started the second season, and then I left it for ages, but I'm definitely going to go back to it because it is, got rave reviews, and I know Zara really loves it. So I trust the taste, so I'm going to dive in and see what it's like. But I've been flip-flopping between that, House of Cards, the US remake. They've got another season out, which is pretty good.
I got the Netflix now, actually, so I'm gonna check it out.
I got the Netflix, man.
Got the Netflix.
You should check that out, and you should check out the original English series as well with Ian Richardson, which was aired by the BBC in the 1990s. That's really good.
Is that on Netflix?
Yes, it is. They've got that as well. Yeah. Cool. So they've got the trilogy actually, because it was released as three. I think there's three different books that the UK one was based on, and the BBC filmed them all, and Netflix have got all of them as a trilogy, which is good.
That is good.
One thing I found interesting, I was reading up on House of Cards, that the reason what's the original character's name in the UK series?
It's Francis Urquhart. He's a very upper class Tory.
He sounds it.
Yeah.
I read that the first thing the writer, I forgot his name now, wrote down was "FU" as in FU to Thatcher.
Yeah.
And that's why they called Francis or Frank Underwood.
Frank Underwood in the US, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that they kept that consistent.
Yeah, and his cufflinks as well. I love that bit in the second series where he gets bought a pair of cufflinks and you just see them sitting on the screen. That's great. And the fact that the great thing about it, James, is he directly addresses the audience, so he breaks the fourth wall. Only he can talk to you, but it's like it's like, oh blimey, this is quite. I feel like I'm getting drawn into his web here. It's like, oh god,
you're an accomplice.
It's just some of the best TV around, so you will enjoy that, James.
Yeah, it's about time we had a new political drama actually to watch. It's been a while. I think the last thing we watched was Boss, and that got cancelled. So
was that the Kelsey Grammer one?
Yeah, really good.
It was good, was it?
It was brilliant. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer was fantastic in that role actually. I don't know if you know much about it, but he's basically diagnosed with a sort of really rare form of Alzheimer's. Sort of early on in the series. He's the mayor of Chicago, and basically you sort of see his kind of decline. So he's the most powerful man in the city, but he starts losing his faculties, starts losing his ability to make good decisions, and sort of becomes a bit more and more corrupt, really. But it was really good. But I can't remember the network, but they cancelled it after like the second series, which was gutting.
Isn't it always the way that the best stuff always goes?
Yeah. Well, it's like I didn't get on with it, but was it Ripper Street? That's been revived by Amazon.
Oh yeah,
because that was really popular. It won an award, like one of the best shows, and then next month it's cancelled.
The first series I didn't get on with, but and we kind of gave up after the first series. But my brother-in-law was saying how good and what a massive improvement the second series was.
Interesting. So that was an award-winning series in the end, but.
I wonder if the damage is already done though, like people's perception. Like I heard it was good, but I never went back to it because I was like, it's unfortunate. Sorry.
No, you carry on, James.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of Netflix series, have either of you watched Video Game High School?
No, I haven't.
Oh, look it up. It's good.
Video Game High School. Hang on.
Video Game High School. It's
about
a group of kids that go to, like, video games are massive in their world, and it's a bit like a sport. So it's like really well paid. If you get a job as a professional video gamer, you get like sponsorships and like glory and fame and loads of money and stuff. So they've got these like academies set up for like the world's best video gamers, and the main character gets sort of, I can't remember, he gets lucky and gets accepted into this academy. But it's really weird, like all the kids, all the students, basically they're referred to by their gamer tag. So the main guy is called Michael D, and they refer to him as Michael D. You've got someone called Drift King, who's like really good at racing. But yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, they got like different classes. So they've got like Guitar School, which is like basically
sweet.
Hero, dance class, and like FPS 101. Yeah.
I guess there's
really
a lot
funny.
of in-jokes and references to games as well throughout the series.
There is, yeah. You'll see a lot in there. I mean, they make direct reference to certain games. Other games, I think they're kind of made up, kind of clones of like Call of Duty or something like that. But there's basically the main guy's nemesis is a player called The Law, and his character is freaking hilarious. Like he just gets more and more sort of demented in this sort of rivalry with this character as it goes through. But the first episode's a pilot, but stick with it. It gets good.
Cool.
Video game high school.
There's something I've been meaning to watch ages, which is Indie Game the movie. It's like the documentary. It's something I should be watching, but I still haven't got around to it yet.
I've got that on my to watch list. Yeah, it's does look quite interesting because that's about, well, obviously indie development and homebrew games developers. So that should be quite interesting because it'd be nice to have a better understanding of how that whole sort of area works and who the characters are in it and some of the struggles and hurdles they have to overcome and face.
No, especially at the Eurogamer Expo, Mike. Me, James this year, along with Zara and Gareth, spent quite a bit of time at the Indie Zone.
Yeah.
By far the best section of the Eurogamer. Obviously, I'd like everyone else to stay away from that section for this coming year as well. But while there's not really any queues there, until you've got the developers in front of you, you're talking to them about the game, and you haven't got the PR person
it's true.
Sort of over your shoulder. You've actually got the guy who's been coding away at it. And it's a much nicer environment, more originality and creativity, and much like that was a Channel 4 documentary, how video games changed the world. It's back to how gaming was in the 80s, where you got these one or two games made by very small teams or just a one person, creating some really odd stuff.
Jeff Minter's Space Camel springs to mind. Yeah,
but that sort of vibe with Octodad on PC and out on PS4 shortly. You're playing an octopus who's trying to blend in to human society, and it's like that's the oddest thing around. But it's not perfect by any means. But you're an octopus who's got to try and pass himself off as a human, but he's got 8 tentacles to. Have you heard about that?
I have heard the name mentioned, but I haven't heard the description of what it was until now.
I'm sure there's a level where you got to go to a wedding. You're at a church. And you've just got to blend in. And it's like crazy, but it's that sort of variety that it's nice to have sort of back in gaming. And with PlayStation Plus, and I don't know if Microsoft can do it with the Games for Gold on Xbox One, but get a lot of more smaller independent games out.
Apparently that is sort of scheduled, isn't it? I think it's like end of March. Games with Gold's coming to Xbox One, but I'm not really sure what that means yet. To be honest, they've not got enough games to release free games. I don't think.
No, on PlayStation Plus, on the PlayStation 3, you get 2 big games. That this month, I think you got Tomb Raider, and you just had BioShock Infinite, and then you get an independent sort of indie game as well alongside it, so you get a good variety. But on PS4 you just get the one game at the moment because there simply isn't the volume to do anymore, and I assume it had to be the same for
still a good offer though.
Xbox. Certainly good.
But is it for a finite period of time? So like Games with Gold, you download it, you keep it forever. It sort of expires or something, doesn't it?
It does expire with the subscription, but you've got to have a subscription now to play online, so it's sort of irrelevant that you lose access anymore.
I'm still waiting for that Framed game to come out actually on iOS. That was one of the best, I think, that we played in the indie department. But
Oh,
You guys were really raving about that, weren't you?
yes,
that was
Framed.
awesome. Yeah, I'm sure. I've read that it's March, but the details on the web are a bit sketchy now, so I don't know. Might have been
Yeah, you
some
have to,
delays in production.
Have to give me a nudge when that comes out, James, if I forget.
Mm.
But yeah, that was a really interesting puzzle game. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to giving that a whirl.
Yeah.
Quickly, I can't say much at all, but the South Park with Stick of Truth is very South Park. That's as far as I can say about it.
Your best review ever.
It would be
Very
much
South.
easier with you, right? Instead of doing
Yeah.
1,500, 1,600 words.
Very true.
Just put South Park with Stick of Truth.
It's very South Park.
Very South Park.
Yeah.
But that's all I can say for now,
Mm.
because it's under embargo. But
That's enough said.
Yeah.
that's enough said.
Enough said.
And,
Take from that what you will.
Another game. Oh, I did play the Lego Movie video game. That's not as good as Lego Marvel and Lego Batman. It's one of the better tie-in games to a movie.
Lego
around.
City? Is it a bit like Lego City?
No, it's still more like Lego Marvel or Lego Batman. It's not a proper open world game. You've got hubs.
Oh, I see.
You've got small hubs, basically. But it's because obviously Lego games became very popular, and the Lego movies sort of very similar to the games itself. But now you've got the game based on the movie. It's a very straightforward process, relatively, to recreate the game, to recreate the movie in game form. But it still has pitfalls where they have to do a bit of filler levels, and it's just some parts of it don't work, unfortunately. But that's still a good game, all in all. But just published the Thief review.
Tea Leaf.
Oh.
Tea Leaf. That did make me chuckle when he texted me, James. Tea Leaf review is proved. That's a game series that I've been involved with since I was 6? How old was I when it came out? 98, so I was 10 when I played the original.
I got it when we just started secondary school, so it would have been 10, 11, yeah.
So I've been a fan of the series. I didn't play I know of a third one, seen it, but I haven't really played it.
Is that the Xbox one? The original Xbox? I never played that one. That was the only one I missed out on, I think.
But the first two I very much enjoyed. Obviously, as a kid, you're not as good at these games. But I still remember really enjoying hiding in the shadows, extinguishing the flames, so you can sneak through. You have to walk on carpet and not the stone floor because your footsteps are louder.
Yeah, the noisemaker bomb, that was cool. You could
have that.
Throw it around a corner.
And you go around a corner, see a guard, knock him on the head, and he's down.
The blackjack.
Drag his body round. Drag his body to a dark corner for the next patrolman guard to be knocked out. It was a really good game. I love that.
It was cool.
And it was the first game to ever have the light and sound mechanics working in tandem.
It had that, and it also had like multiple sort of entry points for your objectives, so you could be a bit more kind of free and easy with your strategy. So you might try, I'll go down the old well and through the sewers. Or this time, maybe I'll try climbing over that wall over there.
It really was a bit of a pioneer. The original Deus Ex refined that and made it quite a bit better. But the principles, the foundations were laid with Thief for an entire genre. So, coming to this new version, it's been quite a few years now. I was thinking, oh dear, I wonder how this is going to pan out. But thankfully, it's actually quite good. I've given it an 8. It's yes, it has split opinion, and I have read other reviews.
Your 8 sound.
It has split opinion, and I can sort of understand why, because it depends on how heavily you weight some aspects of a game, and if you can be asked to really sort of take it slowly at times. I think it depends how you throw yourself into a game or the mindset. It's you actually get rewarded for taking over 15 hours to complete the game. You get a trophy / achievement.
That's not a long time though, is it? In terms of a game, that seems to me like pretty average, isn't it?
Yeah, I think most campaigns these days are what, 6 hours.
Yeah, I suppose you can speedrun anything, can't you? Really, but yeah,
is it consistently enjoyable over those sort of 6 hours then, or?
I really have been enjoying the game. There are a few problems. The AI isn't anything special.
Mm-hmm.
You would think with a game like Thief, you think, right, the original created the genre and did really good AI. I think that's something we need to really focus on. But unfortunately, it's still a bit stilted and not as high standard as you'd expect. You'd expect it. I would expect to set a bit of a watermark again for future games to be set against.
Considering
that's not the case.
Deus Ex had fairly good AI as well.
Yes,
you'd imagine
that was much better.
Yeah.
Deus Ex in that respect. I'm not sure if that's partly the way it's designed, where you've got like the cameras and you've got all these other aspects to it. But it's a really nice looking game as well. It's not the best game around because it's cross-gen, so the PS4 version is limited by the development for PS3 and Xbox 360. So the lighting as well, which is obviously key, works well. You still got the little light bar, so you can see if you're in the dark or if you're out visible to the guards. Also in this game, you've got like a little dog, so if you go near a dog, it starts growling at you. If it gets to a certain point, it go ruff, ruff, it start go mental at you, and the guards are like, "What? It only bark if there's someone."
Who goes there? Who goes there?
Actually, talking to James, that accent, it does have a slight problem with American accents and regional dialects. It has
really.
Yeah, it's set in. It's not set in Victoria, London, but it's basically the same design.
Yeah.
Thematic sense of it, but the main character's American, but the guards are just. It's just a bit odd. I assume that we've got Americans to do English. Because IDOS, I think it's pronounced that, Montreal, so it's a Canadian development.
Yeah.
And they would have got sort of local voice actors to do it. And I think, right, Victorian London would keep it sort of English accented. But it hasn't quite worked too well.
It's kind of odd, isn't it? Because the old ones had English voice actors. I remember the guards. I don't remember Garrett's voice, but I remember the guards were always a bit gruff and what's going on over there?
They have developed, they have redeveloped the character before the modern age. They got a new voice actor, partly so he can do the motion capture, things like that. Basically, what they've done with Solid Snake, because of all the motion capture and the different type of acting required for some games now, they've had to get sort of different people in, and it depends really on what you think's too important.
Yeah.
But it's a good game. Some people won't get it at all or won't enjoy it. That's for sure. But I think if you throw yourself into it, they've got loads of things to steal, obviously. But it's quite cool going into a room, nicking a picture out of its frame, taking all the silverware, scampering out back into the darkness.
Your bag of swag.
Exactly. Okay, you must have a bad back. Jumping over all these walls and carrying a huge bag of candlestick holders, goblets, jewellery, pictures rolled up.
You'd assume that would make a fair bit of noise as well, wouldn't you? Walking around with all
the
that metalware in a big sack, yeah.
Maybe
he wraps it in toilet roll first.
That's a mini game.
So it's if you if you've got the patience for stealth games, it's definitely well worth your time. It's got some good little challenge rooms as well, much like how Arkham Asylum or other games have little small sections of the levels cut off. You just have to steal as much joy as you can, the quickest time possible, with all the guards lurking around. You've got to be careful of that and getting up a high score on the leaderboards. One thing is though, the Metropolitan Police should probably keep an eye on those leaderboards, because if there's someone who can go around and clear out the entire level, sorting out all the guards within the time frame, he's obviously
Cat burglar.
a cat burglar. And the Metropolitan Police should go after, I don't know, the top 10 at a time. And
Yeah.
see,
Could be a crime reduction tool. This,
Crime reduction
this
tool,
thief
does it?
game. Yeah.
So maybe that's what the NSA and CCHQ are going to do.
Yeah.
So, that's the next step. This is actually a police detection program. That's what we're getting on to next. But otherwise, I've been very busy at the moment. And,
Indeed.
Titanfall's coming out soon.
Yeah, we had the beta.
We had the beta, yes. We nearly forgot to mention the beta.
I did as well. That was cracking fun as well.
it's
That's like the
quite-
most fun I've had in many months. And I still forgot all about it somehow. See, that's how busy we are. Scheduling.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's,
it was great fun. I didn't realise when it was ending, so I didn't make the most of it as much as I might have done, I don't think.
It's 2 weeks out until it's
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
hands, James.
That's it, yeah. But no, it was a good little test run. Got me excited for it all over again. Because we played a bit at Eurogamer, didn't we?
We did.
Like a short couple of rounds, but it didn't feel too different to that, which is good. Because that's the game I've been kind of fantasizing about since September. It seems like that's what we'll be getting, which is good. In terms of the smaller player count, I didn't see that as a big issue.
It played really well. It's so much action going on.
Yeah,
You've got the little AI guys sort of, propping up as well. I just thought it was a bit of mental at times, with all these titans having hand-to-hand fist fights.
Yeah.
All these other dudes sort of jumping onto your back, gunning down infantry. And then one of the titans exploding with a nuclear blast. Another one ejecting high up into the air.
yeah.
And landing on another titan.
Got people
Shooting away the
sniping
wire.
from afar. It's crazy.
It's so much good fun with that game.
My favourite thing was riding on your back. Me and Martin were on the same team. He was a titan, and I was just a normal grunt without
Yeah.
titan. So I jumped on his back, and you can sort of ride them like a little.
Horsey. a mechanical horsey.
Yeah, James is gone again. He's obviously struggling. But yeah, for purpose of this, you can. So people playing as Titans, you can easily jump back into the game, onto their back of the Titans, and as an infantry. So Titans got the rocket guns, and then you got the infantry. You can help defend some of the smaller enemy, because obviously Titans are going after each other in the game.
Yeah.
But you're quite vulnerable to infantry. I took down about 3 Titans in one round just by jumping on the back and gunning down the wires and
Stuff.
stuff, whatever, the electronics, motherboard,
Guts,
whatever.
yeah.
The guts
Yeah.
of the Titan.
Rip out the motherboard, they're dead.
But it's good. It
Press the off button.
everyone gets a Titan, even if you're terrible. You get a Titan, but if you're good, it reduces the time until your Titan is ready again.
Yeah.
So picking
when
off
you
heads
start off, it's like 2 minutes till Titanfall, but every kill you get takes like 15 seconds off that or something. So you can,
Cool.
if you're really good, you can be constantly in a Titan.
It's the opposite with War. It's like whereas Titans got their carrot approach, Call of Duty has almost got the stick approach. It's like you can't, if you're not great at Call of Duty, it's almost impossible for you to ever get a UAV because you're being gunned down constantly.
Yeah.
let alone a 15 kill streak nuclear bomb coming in, saying Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2.
Oh, bless you, Martin.
I did get killed once by a nuclear bomb, but it's going to be a system seller, Titanfall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. Well, I think that about rounds are up for this week.
Yes, it has gone very quickly.
Oh, indeed.
So we finally got round to this other podcast. We've got kind of a lot to talk about again in the next few weeks.
We've
few
got a
games
review coming out of a game.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a bit behind the times, but I got a review coming out. Castlevania,
2.
Lost Souls 2. That'll be out sometime this weekend, I think.
That's for our Norfolk correspondent.
Yes.
Is that a Norfolk accent?
It's an attempt at one, but I would.
Sound a bit
It's
like
more
a
southwestern.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've gone a bit south.
It's like listening to Radio Bristol. It's brilliant.
Anyway, yes. So my review of Castlevania should be out hopefully some point this weekend if I get my ass together. If I get my act together. Giving away too much information. Yeah.
We've got the South Park review coming out. We might even be able to start talking about Titanfall and Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yeah.
And possibly Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes. Maybe. Depends on how quickly we can get onto the podcast or if we're delayed. Or
Stay
not.
tuned for our
Possibly
yakking
Animal
about that.
Crossing New Leaf, if I've gotten around to playing it by then. It's sat on my pile as we speak. As is Zelda,
I'd love
A
to
Link
hear what you
Between
think
Worlds.
about that.
Yeah, I'll try and give it some playtime.
Yeah, I don't think I can cope with Animal Crossing. I found it a bit too odd to me.
It looks
and
sweet.
too complicated. I don't think it looks sweet, James. They look freaky.
Really?
I
Oh,
find
yeah.
it.
The little
And-
triangular noses are a bit weird.
I just find it a bit weird looking for my liking. But oh well, it's a popular game, and what do I know about games?
Yeah.
So on that note, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from James and Michael.
Cheers,
Toodaloo.
guys.